Hello, everyone, and welcome to GPX Reacts, Nat's favorite podcast scenario. I'm your host, Hassan. With me is Tony, Nat, and Christian. All of GPX is here, GPX Japan. We are super pumped, super excited. You know why? Resident Evil 4. New trailer today. A lot of gameplay stuff from the Capcom showcase. Guys, opening up to you. What are your thoughts? Give me your thoughts on the gameplay. Give me your thoughts on the trailer. Talk to me, people.
It's funny because it seems like it's delving more into horror, seeming than the original Resident Evil 4. It's darker, even more atmospherically.
Even design choices, you can tell they've changed up the layout just a bit, at least in the opening sequence. Because he's exploring the first few houses a lot more than in the original, I think. So yeah, it's definitely building that tension a little bit more than 4 did. Not to say 4, obviously we're going to be gushing about this one because we think it's all great, but not to say the original is not great.
It definitely looks like they took a lot from 8. Having played that game, just seeing Leon explore the houses, just to go back to that for a second. In 8, that's a big thing. You're going through the village, you're looking through the houses. I'm curious to see how they're going to tie it together because they've been kind of hinting at it. At least when 8 was coming out, when Village came out, that it's it's like a mix of 4 and 7, and there's a connection with the Village, and here the Village in 4, it's in Europe and all that stuff. So I wonder how much they're gonna borrow from 8. It seems like there was a thread Christian sent me on Twitter, and it's huge. It goes into every detail in this trailer. It's over 100 tweets long.
Jeez.
And one of the things that was interesting was a quote from Capcom. I think it was a quote from one of the directors or one of the producers or something, that instead of making it a full-on remake like 2, they are just trying to, I guess, enunciate all the good parts of 4. So don't expect a big jump, but just expect that game but heightened.
Well, I mean, right in the opening, we see Ashley, or supposedly Ashley, brought to the altar, and you see the altar, the actual insignia of the Los Illuminados is vastly different. It actually kind of resembles the final insignia in RE8. There's new mechanics, not just the parry, but you see it right in the opening. Leon ducks. There's a going into stealth mode. He ducks down and slows down, which was not there in the original, which I don't think I've seen in any other iteration. He kind of you can go into stealth mode, and I thought that was pretty cool. It made me happy. We got to see Salazar. We got to see 2 of his assistants. We got to see some of the spooky castle stuff. We got to see the Chief Mendez. We got to see El Gigante. We got to see the Lake Salamander fight. This is crazy. This is one of the best Resident Evil trailers ever. Of one of the best Resident Evil games. There's no modern pop song music in here. There's no weird cuts.
Well, it's as you said, they've got an already really good source material to draw from, right? So all they have to do is optimize it, make it a little bit better, make it a little bit change it up a bit, modernize it a little bit, and they've already got a great game on their hands, regardless of the little changes that they make.
And Hunnigan's in. Hunnigan's back.
Hunnigan's in it. Yeah, I was just so excited in the gameplay trailer. You see Hunnigan. I thought they were just going to take her out because they took out all the lines of between
the VR.
Yeah, in the VR version, right?
That's because Mark Zuckerberg requested it in his robotic ways. Humans don't interact that way.
Dude, I really hope they have Leon and Leon and Salazar's banter.
Yeah.
He's I'll send my right hand after your right hand comes off or something like that.
No, dude, I want that stupid Leon in there, the bro Chad Leon. I want a little bit of that spice in
intentionally being facetious like that.
Well, in the gameplay demo, there's a funny moment where he shoots the lamp above the cow, and the cow hits.
He's you can send me the bill or something.
Yeah, you can bill me later. So he's already making jabs.
Yeah,
PETA is already annoyed. They're gonna send out a boycott.
The cow catches on fire.
Yeah,
just shoots the thing and the cow burns.
Hey man, first of all, let's talk mechanically. Because I think story and lore, we can get lost in it. That's a huge tangent as it is. What do you think of the parry mechanic? Some people are online are like, "This looks stupid. He's like parrying a chainsaw with his gun." I think this is Resident Evil.
It's
This is Resident
cool.
Evil 4.
It looks
I
cool.
don't know why you'd even complain about that. I mean, in a game where you could just run up to like infected and just roundhouse kick them with no big deal.
Yeah, because you know
It's
the
like already-
infected is so
even-
realistic.
Even the
There's already
roundhouse
some-
kick, man. Like,
Yeah, there's already like some action in there, so it's like, why not kind of lean into it a bit more
Yeah.
and like kind of
Yeah, yeah.
experiment with that? Because
And I like
Oh,
his
well,
knifing stuff. Kill to confirm, like on the ground.
I don't know if it's like 100%, but I feel like they took a bit of inspiration from RE1 remake where you have the survival knives.
Yes.
So like
Yeah,
whenever
great.
a zombie like tries to whack you, you just pull out one of your survival knives. So I think
because there
took
seems to be a
bit
small bar
of-
that indicates like some kind of wear and tear or upgrade.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
it
for
breaks. I think if you
Yeah.
do the parry, I think if you parry the chainsaw, for example, I think it breaks the knife even if you're
Yeah.
successful with it.
sure.
Well, I think they already
So-
had that in RE2 and 3, like
They did.
where they had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a limiter on the knife. Like,
Mhm. I guess people
Yeah.
are just worried about the chainsaw pairing just because Resident Evil 4, everyone loves it. It does lead to Resident Evil 5, which is much more divisive, and that's where we get boulder punching. And I mean, I love it.
And he was referenced,
But-
man. Heisenberg goes, that boulder punching asshole. He calls Chris a boulder. So I mean, it's canonical. It's fine.
If they stick to the horror elements, they got the action in there, it's fine.
Yeah.
And they kind of incorporate, which people are saying like RE 3.5 in this game, how they're adding bits of the beta like they did for Resident Evil 2
Yeah.
and whatnot into this, then maybe, you know, who knows if they remake 5.
What do you
make
guys?
it more horrified again? Well, apparently they're going to the producer, I think, or director said that this game is going to be as long as the original Resident Evil 4, which kind of clocks in around 16 hours, which is pretty
that's
pretty
awesome.
hefty if you think about it. It's one of the longer ones. Resident Evil 1 remake is, I'm looking at how long to beat. It takes about 12 hours, I guess.
No, there's something really
Like
different
full
here,
on.
and I think the Ashley turning on you mechanic is something that I think they're gonna probably expand on, because she does get infected and she pulls out a gun on him. It's not just Leon now. Now you have a partner that looks like they may turn against you. The other thing I'm noticing is there's a lot of destructive environmental stuff that wasn't there in the first game.
Mhm.
So imagine the same setting, but they've figured out how to do proper sandboxing with destructible environments. The angle I looked at it is the celebration of one of the greatest video games of all time. A lot of people put this game on their number one, like of all time. I would put it in my top 5.
Mhm.
And why wouldn't you? Like, you know, and kind of a little bit of a FU to Naughty Dog and its Last of Us remake. Kind of. Hear me out. Look at the angle of what Last of Us claimed. It said it's one of the greatest games of all time. Then they remade it, and they celebrated that.
I mean, Last of Us 1, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm sitting there and I'm like Capcom, and I'm like, what the hell? This? No. This is not even a game. This is a story, interactive story. Bring up Resident Evil 4. Let's remake that.
that was the whole process.
I wonder. Well, I was gonna say, what do you think about them not what do you think about them not doing it exclusively next gen? Do you agree with that whole, you know, conspiracy theory that it's you know, the game could have looked better if it was strictly next gen or something like that?
I don't think it really matters too much. There probably might be like just some minor performance issues, but who knows?
I think
And
that's
it's like
perfect.
I feel like it's like it's just a extra challenge to optimize stuff, right? Because
Yeah.
you're not only just optimizing it for one thing, you're optimizing it for everything, which is like, yeah, if people learn, I mean, not that I know anything, but like if people learn how to do that, and it's just like
nothing.
it's just a good skill, right? Like to be able to just be like, all right, this is our optimized version for PS5, this is our optimized version for PS4,
Yeah.
which, like, you know, case in point, like where they didn't have practice was Cyberpunk, right? They were just like the
game I love.
that was a game that they should have just been like, yeah, let's just do PS5. But they were like, no, there's a chip shortage. People need it on PS4. Let's just throw out like a weird build PS4 we won't check it or anything, and it like turned to total crap, right? Like it was just a buggy mess. So yeah, like you'd feel like the industry, like slowly but surely, especially with Capcom, as you said,
Yeah.
is like would be adjusting and like being able to do.
And I can't wait to play 4. I am a little disappointed that we didn't get a demo, but I was hoping for too much.
Yeah.
Well, I think we might soon enough, because I think with like RE2 and 3, didn't they only do like a couple months or like a month or something before?
Yeah,
It comes out in March.
That's
so we
a
have to
Christmas
wait.
present.
Oh my god.
That would be That would be nice to get. It'll be here before we know it.
But 4 has come full, like 4 remake has come full circle, and I was part of that camp of like, okay, when I first heard about 4, I was like, do they really need to remake 4? Because it's already been ported on like every platform under the sun.
Yeah.
As
but
much
then,
as Skyrim.
Yeah, right. And then I was like, I don't think they really need to, right? Because 4 is already it's
perfect.
next to flawless, right? Yeah. So but having seen this, it's like, okay, what I'm most surprised at, or what I'm most looking forward for, is if they can like add a couple of new elements. Like the knife thing sounds cool. The story changes, like not drastically changes, but like the little extra story elements of like Ashley turning on you and stuff. That's within the initial bounds of the story anyway. That could have happened like reasonably. So what I'm most surprised and looking forward to is what they can do to change it and still keep it in line with the original, and maybe add that little extra spice to it, right? So,
I think they should embrace the changes instead of saying things like, "Oh, yeah, we're not going to make a big leap." It's like, well, I think you guys are making, like, you should lean into those changes. I mean, of course, people are going to be excited, but it seems like I just thought those comments were kind of weird. Like, I know there's already sort of, I don't know, not apprehension, I guess, but maybe there's a little bit from some people where they're, oh, do we need a remake? Like, not said.
But again, Last of Us.
Well, I mean, yeah,
it's like everyone knows that game doesn't need a remake.
The audio literally was the exact same delivery, same everything.
Just the different models, right? Or just...
Didn't they make a point of being like, oh, we've added new dialogue and stuff, and that was all
did like new animations and enemy AI. And a lot of people that play the game go, I don't know if this new AI is working, because it acts exactly the same as the old one. People want their movies. People just want to enjoy the stuff that they like, and they want more of it. And so RE4, shoot a cow, put it on fire. I don't care. Do you mean like
you can just like they're just like lawsuits from Peter?
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Given. No F's given.
Animal violence.
I love it. Like they chose that moment specifically. They couldn't have like just edited the cow out or something. They left the cow in, and Leon drops a flaming lantern directly onto it.
They know.
I mean, they definitely did that on purpose.
They did it because
are video games not real life? What's going on here?
Do you mean like Resident Evil is a violent, crazy game? And if you played RE2 Remake, the gore engine that they had in that,
Jeez, that bit, even in the trailer with that guy gets ripped in half, that was nuts.
Friggin'
like next gen and stuff was like, Jesus Christ.
I want to pose a question to the panel. Give me one thing that you want to see, a wish list in RE4. You're like, I just want to see this. I just hope they deliver on this. Something. I'll start us off. I want Louis Serra's line in there. I see that the president has equipped his daughters with ballistics. I want that line so much.
I knew it was
one of my favorite lines in the whole game.
I want the iconic follow me. Wait, follow me.
You want that?
Wait, follow me.
We are.
She's just hiding in the garbage.
I love like I now that we're talking about it, I remember kind of ridiculous bits from 4 that was still amazing, like the bits where Ashley's driving the tractor or something. She's driving that like big construction vehicle, and you're supposed to be like protecting her from like hundreds of zombies just like boarding the car and stuff. It's so stupid, but like that's part of the charm of Resident Evil. It's just like you're thrown into these ridiculous but also intense situations,
Nice.
and you just kind of have to find a way out of it.
Tony.
I hope they incorporate beta elements. That'd be cool. Like I mentioned earlier, I think that'd be pretty sweet to see some of those things that they cut the first time around, kind of
Like the
make it back in there
and stuff. Oh, that'd be so freaky.
Yeah, because apparently, like they had there was like 3 versions of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
before it became Devil May
yeah.
Cry or whatever.
they have a whole bunch of them. So I think it'd be cool to. I mean, they have locations where the game was still. I don't know if the game was still fixed camera or not, but there's old videos of it or something like that. Different locations that aren't in the final game. So that would be cool to see those briefly come in, or
That'd
even
be
them to add
so
some new
amazing.
areas.
Oh, I have another thing, like another wish list, like
Sure,
the
sure.
2 original costumes from RE4 were like the RPD outfit and the pimp outfit.
I want the
With
like
the fedora and, like,
Chicago,
the
yeah,
trench
and
coat or
the
whatever.
scarf. I want that. Did you see the collector's edition though? It comes with like a villain outfit, and he
He's a
looks
hero,
like he looks like the original beta version because his fur coat looks like all puffy and shit.
Yeah.
The merchant. Now that's the guy. There's a couple of new lines here.
You better have new outfits depending on which one he wears.
Oh, dude, he friggin' opens his. He looks so cool. He's gone all like fully into it.
Thank you.
You know, it's a new voice actor, but he sounds more like, I hate to say it, he sounds grounded, but just as wild. Oh my God, it made me so happy. Now you can trade him gems for not just money, but for special guns. And as they're doing that, you see his hands like, grab stuff from the table and stuff and like
that would make it even funnier, like him actually doing stuff.
Yeah,
he just kind of sits there and like you just buy a gun for him and that's it.
The new menu they showed, you see his hands as it's like it's ongoing.
Yeah.
He opens his coat the same way, but he looks so much better. He sounds better. There's a lot of new dialogue. You're gonna love this, stranger, something like that. And it's just like, chef's kiss. Because the original theory is that he is Louis Serra's uncle. Because there's a notebook you find in the game that talks about Serra's uncle creating underground tunnels around the village area. That's how he has quick access to these areas. And Chief Mendez wants to kill him for that. And so the theory that runs around is that's Louis's uncle.
Well, I wonder if you could kill him in this one, because I remember in the original Resident Evil 4, you could just kill him with like.
That was. I don't think I ever did that.
I would never do that.
I
respected him too much.
Yeah. I've seen video of it. I've never done that.
Who'd want to kill him? Yeah. Nobody. He's great.
I'll buy it at a high price. He's like bleeding out.
And like his death, like I've heard the soundbite of his death, and it goes on for like a good 5-6 seconds. He's just like,
I thought you were gonna say like 5 minutes. I'm like, man.
Because it's bad,
It's not for a good 5 minutes. I was like, damn.
And it's like, yeah, by the time it's over, you're like, man, I feel really bad for shooting that guy.
Did I really do that?
Dude, he's trying to help you out, I just want that. I'll buy it at a high price. I want that.
Some of the guns later in the game, he's like, "What are you hunting? An elephant?" It's pretty stupid. It's great.
Guys, this was too much fun. Any gripes, any criticisms, any things you are concerned about?
I guess like very, very small thing was like a couple of the villagers' faces like didn't, maybe they weren't, I don't know if it's like an expression thing, but the lady who breaks the window, the wooden window with the pitchfork, like when you see her face, it's kind of, it looks very kind of standard, like there's not much movement to it. I suppose it's like they are zombies and infected, but like they're not supposed to have that much facial expression anyway, but like it just seemed little bit stoic. That was but that's like a minuscule like nitpick, and of course the game still hasn't been released, right? But just in general, the whole thing, I think, it just looks really good. I'm hoping maybe they'll lessen the QTEs a bit.
Well, I think they might be doing that. That's what it seems like. I don't know.
Like getting rid of QTEs, you mean?
Yeah, maybe. Like I think they probably
Because that was the most annoying part of 4.
want
Is
more
your
horror. Yeah.
the annoying part of 4, the original 4, is when you're just watching a cutscene, you think everything's fine.
Press
And
RT
it's
to throw 1,000 times to run through the boulder.
You got it, man.
dodge 7 knives. Yeah.
Press X.
And just like, oh, fuck's sake. Like,
Keep
I
running,
just,
Leon.
I don't want them to. I'm afraid that the island, the last part of that game, may be heavily modified. I'm a little afraid. I don't want to lose that island because it kind of abruptly just happens. You all of a sudden have to go to the island. I'm kind of afraid of that. And my other concern is the voice acting for Ada. I'm kind of turned off.
Yeah, I like consistency. I mean, I'm gonna play in Japanese anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But like,
Agreed.
I don't know. I just it's nice to have consistency, especially because it's nice that they were doing that with Leon. They got the same guy again from 2 remake.
The same the model.
So I like to see that. So when I heard Ada, I was like, wait, what?
She sounds bored. She's like, so Leon, what are you gonna do?
yeah,
She
sounded a lot
looks
more
different
like,
too.
she sounded a lot more stylistic and like just cool, like an actual character in the original 4. But here she just sounds like they just put like a regular person in a Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
A good remedy. Play it in Japanese.
Yeah, that's true.
They got to try to fail with this one. I feel like they got everything they need, the balls in their court. They got a great engine. They are remaking a classic that people are super stoked about. I mean, they would have to be spectacular to screw this up.
They'd have to go like full Last of Us 2 route. Just
They'd
screw
have to
this up.
fumble the bag.
Like Leon dies in the first 10 minutes to take over.
And then
takes
Ashley's the main
Ashley
character.
Total MDX2.
Exactly. That'd be the only way.
And Ashley and Ada run away together at the end. Yeah.
And you know, I'm also hyped up now that I'm thinking about the island. I'm thinking about the regenerators.
Dude, they're gonna if they do them right,
crazy.
they're gonna
Maybe
be
the
nuts.
thermal sniper.
Yeah.
The
Look
most
for their weak
disturbing RE creature for me was those guys. And they were so simple, so freaky. I haven't seen it since the Crimson Heads. Crimson Heads used to be one of my
Crimson Heads
I used to hate them. And it's just
Dude, they were like when they first appeared. I think I was playing the remake when they first showed up, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like he just stands up, and he's just this psycho coming at you.
Faces, their claws.
Yeah.
And so the regenerators and the Iron Maidens in there, the one that have the spikes shoot out of them, dude, those are the worst looking enemy. I love them. So I can't wait to see them.
Even like I'm curious to see all the other characters. Like what's the army guy called? Krauser. Yeah, Krauser. He was nuts. And yeah, all the other characters showing up as well. That'd be great.
Hey, if it's the same length, they gotta pad it with something. Oh, if you get a chance, like check out the hands-on preview. It's out right now for a couple of sites. IGN and Games Radar just posted it. Oh, it looks disgusting. It's great.